Welcome, gamers. 2025 is here, and it's an amazing time to be a handheld gaming enthusiast. From mind-blowing graphics to insane battery life, handhelds are packing more power than ever before. Whether you're into retro classics or the latest AAA titles, there's something for everyone. Today, we're diving into the best handheld gaming devices of 2025, giving you the lowdown on what makes each one stand out. Number 5. Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is a fully equipped PC stuffed into a portable shell with plenty of tricks up its sleeve. The Deck's 7-inch screen, on the other hand, is linked with integrated controls, haptic feedback, a gyroscope, and twin touchpads, unlike your rig or laptop. Finally, all of these elements contribute to a console-like experience when playing Steam games, with SteamOS acting as a controller-friendly interface for browsing your collection. The Deck, at 669G, is one of the chubbiest handheld systems available, but its ergonomic design ensures that it fits comfortably in your hands. If you played a lot of YUA before the Switch, you'll be familiar with Valve's high-up symmetrical stick arrangement, which in terms of buttons follows the modern PC controller playbook. Again, the Steam Deck isn't the most powerful handheld PC on the market, but it provides adequate performance for the price. When using its 800p screen, Valve's proprietary AMD AP, you can run a section of your collection at over 60 FPS, and you'll even be able to play on a bigger screen via a Steam Deck dock. When running recent releases, you'll have to make do with low settings to boost FPS to an acceptable level, but you'll still notice the visual difference compared to Nintendo Switch. Although not every game on Steam is compatible with SteamOS, over 10,000 games have been designated as Steam Deck verified or playable. That implies you shouldn't encounter any game-breaking issues while playing, but the system is more of a helping hand than a guarantee of speed. Number 4. Evercade EXP. The Evercade EXP is a retro console full and through, featuring a 4.3-inch 480p display. The key selling point of the console is its increasing library of available cartridges, which come with inbuilt emulators designed expressly for the games they offer. Each compilation includes a variety of oldies from publishers such as Capcom and IREM, and the overall experience is quite authentic. Despite its Game Boy cartridge looks, the Evercade EXP is quite modern. This is partly due to its clean white color scheme and landscape layout, although its D-pad and traditional face buttons feel dated. That's obviously a good thing for replaying Sega Mega Drive and SNES titles on different hardware, and the structure keeps things from feeling eerie. The Evercade EXP is more expensive than the initial edition, but it is unquestionably the best version thanks to a significant display update and an enviable assortment of stone-cold classic Capcom titles pre-installed. This is the only hardware you should consider nowadays if you want to dabble in retro gaming. However, without the addition of a couple of analog sticks, we're running out of options for what the hardware can look forward to in terms of the PS1 period and later, and let's face it, that's technically retro gaming nowadays. It'd be licensing nightmare, I'm sure, since Nintendo already has the Switch, NES Mini, and SNES Mini, while Sony had the PlayStation Classic, which was a letdown because it couldn't license all of the third-party oldies. Number 3. Ayeneo 2S. If you enjoy feature-rich smartphones, you'll appreciate everything the Ayeneo 2S has to offer. It may appear to be similar to other mobile gaming Cs at first appearance, but it is equipped with a 1200p display, Ryzen 7 7840 UAP up to 64GB RAM, and a 4TB SSD. Depending on model, closer investigation reveals that the handheld's shell has something to prove, as it contains 3 USB-C connections rather than one. That means you don't need a dock to use the portable as a desktop PC, which is appropriate given its capabilities. In terms of design, the Ayeneo 2S appears to be inspired by the Asus ROG Ally. There are similarities such as an asymmetrical thumbstick layout with RGB lights underneath, but subtle distinctions like as its bezel-less screen and curvier shape give it a more premium feel. It's heavy at 667G, but we found it to be pleasant to use for lengthy periods of time. The Ryzen 7 7840U is a strong chip that allows the Ayeneo 2S to break the portable performance barrier. It's the only handheld we've tested that can run Cyberpunk 2077 at 60 FPS on 800p low settings, which is an impressive feat considering how demanding CD Projekt Red's RPG is. Just like the Asus ROG Ally, Windows-related hijinks can wreak havoc on performance if and when quirks and problems occur, and it'll be up to you to explore. At the risk of sounding repetitive, Windows handhelds can run anything a standard PC can. As a result, the Ayaneo 2S has a sizable library that spans Steam, the Epic Game Store, PC Game Pass, and other platforms. Number 2. Asus ROG Ally. The Asus ROG Ally, like the Steam Deck, is a 7-inch handheld with integrated controls. The Ally, on the other hand, takes things a step further by having a 120Hz 1080p display and a newer AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor. This combination allows it to produce smoother images and unexpectedly high frame rates, especially in demanding games. The ROG Ally is one of the more attractive portable Cs on the market, and it also feels good in the hand. It's significantly lighter than the Steam Deck at 608G, but it still feels tough and has extra aesthetic eccentricities like RGB thumbsticks. When compared to the deck, its white, form-fitting shell stands out, while its general design and curves give comfortable access to its controls, triggers, and asymmetrical sticks. The ROG Ally Z1 Extreme APU has quickly become the new chip to beat. In titles like Cyberpunk 2077 and Starfield, you'll be able to boost FPS far beyond the bounds of the Steam Deck. However, it doesn't quite reach the same heights as pricier competitors like the Ayaneo 2 SE, and you could struggle to fully utilize the 120Hz screen. Aside from that, if you're looking for a more cheap handheld PC that can maintain 1080p frame rates, this is it. As a Windows portable PC, the Asus ROG Ally can run any application that your standard rig can. In other words, unlike the Steam Deck, you may install and run numerous shops like Steam, the Epic Game Store, PC Game Pass, and GOG without relying on workarounds or compatibility layers. That's not to say you won't run into performance issues or controller compatibility issues, and it's worth mentioning that Windows handheld optimization can be a problem in and of itself when switching between programs and games. The Asus ROG Ally has benefited greatly from updates, and it is currently one of the greatest ways to play. The Asus ROG Ally is a lot of fun. While the design and construction are excellent, and the 1080p display is a treat, Windows is holding this tablet back in its current form. All of this is housed in a 27.9 x 11.1 x 1.2 chem body that weighs 608 g. Number 1. Nintendo Switch OLED. While we've given the Nintendo Switch OLED variant the top rank, many of its advantages are shared by the original model as well. It's light, still supports conventional game cartridges, and comes with removable Joy-Cons and a docking station. Your eyes will be in for a treat if you choose the OLED variant over the Switch Lite or original versions. The new display has excellent contrast and colors, which turn epic adventures like Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom into pure eye pleasure, and the slightly larger 7-inch screen makes all the difference. The OLED Switch has a similar appearance to its predecessor, but there are a few crucial differences that set it apart. For starters, the OLED screen is slightly larger and has a narrower bezel, giving it a visual advantage over other handhelds on the market. It also has a better kickstand around the back, which is sure to thrill anyone who has had a close call with the original's thin flap. Sure, the Switch's internals aren't particularly spectacular, but they do the job. The Nvidia Tegra X1 SoC within packs enough power to deliver 1080p 30fps images, and playing in handheld mode alleviates the burden in some demanding games. However, for the most part, you won't have to worry about performance because Nintendo's library caters to the technology to ensure a seamless experience. If you're picky about frame rates, you should probably look into a handheld PC instead. The Nintendo Switch OLED, of course, has access to an incredible library of games, and it's one of the only handhelds on this list with first-party titles. While handheld CCs offer the advantage of storefront adaptability,